We have breaking news out of the NFL. The Cleveland Browns have signed cornerback Denzel Ward to a big contract extension. Our Jonathan Jones reporting it's reportedly a 5-year, $100.5 million deal with just over $71 million guaranteed. That makes the two-time Pro Bowler the highest paid corner in NFL history. The new contract keeps the 24-year-old Ward in Cleveland through the 2027 season. When you take a look at the highest paid corners in the league, Ward tops that list. Jalen Ramsey second in terms of his AAV, just behind him at $20 million. Then you have Marlon Humphrey from the Ravens at $19.5, Marshawn Lattimore at $19.4, and Xavier Howard at $18 million. All right, let's now bring on our two-time Super Bowl champion, former quarterback Bryant McFadden, for more on this. B-Mac, your reaction to this news, Ward getting paid.
I love it. I love it because the thing about cornerbacks is a very, very unique position. You have to be able to cover and defend some of the best athletes in the world and have to be able to do it in a consistent clip. But then if you look at what wide receivers are getting, it's only right. I mean, we're seeing wide receivers top the $28 million per year mark. I mean, what, $30 million, I think, is the highest wide receiver number when it comes to average per year. And that's crazy, right? In a good way for wide receivers. But if you're going to pay these pass catchers, Jeremy, that type of money, it's only right that you start to increase the money the guys that cover those said wide receivers should get, and that's what Denzel Ward was able to do today.
24 years old, $100 million deal, $70 million of it guaranteed, over $70 million of it guaranteed. So let's talk about that wide receivers. I mean, we talked about the market being reset for wide receivers this offseason in terms of the money that they're getting. What does a deal like this do for the cornerback market moving forward?
It increases the value at that position if you're that type of player. You got to be a high-level player, a guy that's very, very consistent, and you have to be considered to be a CB1 on your respected team, and that's who Denzel Ward is. And don't forget, Denzel Ward was a top 5 draft pick some years ago. Denzel Ward is only 24 years old. He is still extremely young, and the prime of his career is still in front of him, and the Cleveland Browns believe this is a guy they wanted to lock up and make sure he stayed in the organization for quite some time. Not to mention, when you're playing against Jamar Chase twice a year, when you're playing against some of the other guys in the division at the pass catching spot in the AFC North twice a year, you better have a guy that can cover those guys and do it well.
When you look at the additions this offseason in terms of the Cleveland Browns, I mean, Deshaun Watson, who was acquired from Houston in that trade, Amari Cooper from Dallas, Chase Winovich. I mean, how big is it getting Ward signed to a new deal?
It's huge because you showed the organization, you saw the players there in the locker room that they love taking care of their own. And if you do what you're supposed to do, you will be rewarded nicely. And that's what they did for Denzel Ward today. The only knock on Denzel Ward has been injuries. But when he has been in the lineup, he's been nothing but a standout guy for their organization, a friendly guy in the locker room. He's well liked. And because of that, they gave him the reward that he is deserving of seeing and becoming the highest paid corner in the National Football League.
This division, I mean, it's going to be incredible to watch. I mean, the Browns loading up, the Bengals still good, the Ravens, and I mean, if the Steelers get themselves a quarterback, I mean, they have Mitchell Trubisky. Let's give them that. Has this become the toughest division in football for you?
No. The AFC North, they're not the toughest division in the AFC. I still go out west to the AFC West. And because I say the reason why I believe the AFC West is the toughest division is because they have quarterback star power. It's safe to say they have at least, and I know this could be a far-fetched assumption, but at least 3 Hall of Famers at the quarterback position in that division when it's all said and done. And it could be 4, right? When you look at the quarterbacks, Pat Mahomes, Russell Wilson, Derek Carr, and I'm having a brain.
Justin Herbert.
Herbert, yes, for the Chargers. I'm sorry. Justin Herbert. When it's all said and done, it's safe to say all 4 of those quarterbacks will be going off to football heaven. And then when you factor in all the moves those divisions made, the Raiders bringing in Devontae, right? You have the Chargers bringing in Khalil and J.C. Jackson. I mean, so it's been some big-time moves that the teams have made outside of addressing some of the more important positions. And because of all of that, I think the AFC West is still the toughest division in the NFL.
Well, one thing's for sure, there's lots of power in the AFC overall moving forward. B-Mac, thanks for hopping on with us. Two-time Super Bowl champion, talking about the Cleveland Browns signing quarterback Denzel Ward to a big contract extension. $70 million guaranteed, $100 million deal. And of course, for more on this deal and everything that's going on in the NFL, storylines as we head towards the draft, be sure to check out All Things Covered with B-Mac and Patrick Peterson. You can download and follow wherever you get your preferred podcasts. You can also watch the program on YouTube.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.